Hey guys, welcome back to another tutorial, and today what you're looking at is called the flame stitch pattern. So now what we will be doing with this pattern, I've worked up just a quick sample piece of the actual look of this pattern, and it's quite simple as long as you do know where your previous rows and stitches involving your single crochet are previously below the current row in which you're working. And I know that sounds complicated, but once you get into the rhythm of that, it becomes very simple. So basically all of these rows in gray are nothing more than single crochet. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll chain in multiples of 8. So I did 8, 8, and 8, and then I added 4 at the end. Okay, so you'll have your foundation row. So you'll go ahead and do that. So I had a total of 28. And then you'll do 4 rows of additional crochet, single crochet rows. All right, and then you will start making your flame stitches on that next row. And that's where you see I started the pink. So you'll have to have a contrasting color that's going to work well to show the flame stitches. Once you've done that 5th row, which is where your flame stitch comes into play, you will then just go back with that same color and you will work 4 rows of single crochet again. And then what you will do is change your color back to this color, which is your start color, or any other color you choose. If you want to do multiple colors for flames, that's up to you, and it would be beautiful to do that. Then you will change that color at the end of this row 4 here, and then you will start working your flames again. So I didn't go all the way up there because it's just a repetitive pattern. So I'm just going to show you how to work this, and like I said, I did a quick swatch workup to show you what we are going to be working up here. So basically, working in the flame stitch, you're just going to be working in single crochet. So you're just going to be working 1 stitch throughout this pattern, but it's going to be working in a long single crochet. So working a long single crochet means you're going to be working in the rows below the previous row. So like here in this stitch right here, I worked in the current row, so that's just a basic single crochet. So you'll end up going 1 stitch over and then 1 row down. That's going to be your first long single crochet, and that's going to be in 1 row below. So your next long single crochet, you will go 1 row over from that previous stitch, but 2 rows down and into that next stitch. Okay, so the next long single crochet will be the next row over, 3 rows down, and going into that next stitch. And then your final long single crochet will be 1 row over, 4 rows down. Okay, so you see that gives you that diagonal look. And then basically you're going to work your way back up the same way you worked your way down. So beginning with the 3rd row, you're going to go over 1 row, but you're going to go up one row. Okay, so that'll take you to your 3rd row, but 1 stitch over. And then you'll go over 1 row, 1 stitch up, and that'll be your next stitch. Then you'll work 1 row over, 1 stitch up, that'll be your next stitch, and then 1 row over and 1 stitch up. That will be your basic single crochet. So that's going to give, from the single crochet to single crochet, is going to give you your whole entire look of 1 flame stitch there. Okay, and so you see I have 1, 2, 3 complete sets there, and that's going to be the layout of the entire pattern. And you can do it however long you want. This is just like I said, I did 3 multiples of 8, so that gave me a total of 3 sections. Okay, so basically what you'll need to do is chain your sections of 8, and I've still got 3 here, and then I added 4. So what you'll need to do, and I know you'll probably need to stop the tutorial, and that's fine, is to just go ahead and chain your 28 if that's what you're going to work with, and then just single crochet, and you want to just work your single crochet rows until you have 4 completed single crochet rows. Okay, so when you get to row 5, we want to then change our color. Alright, so then when you get to that end stitch, you want to add that second color, which I am going to do a brown color because that's going to be pretty contrasting. So you will just simply pull that through, and we will tie that into a simple knot here. Okay, and then you'll flip that over, and then we will just start working our flame stitches. Okay, so now we're going to work row 5, which is going to be the start of our flame stitch. So what you want to simply do here is, with our new color, we're going to chain up 1, and you can work over that tail or work it in however you like. So what you want to do is to single crochet into that same stitch and single crochet into that second stitch. Okay, and now what we're going to do is work our first long single crochet in 1 row below. So you go to your next available stitch, okay, and then you're going to go 1 row below. So instead of going into the stitch, you go into the stitch below and work a long single crochet. Now don't scrunch up your rows. You don't want them tight down like that on each other, so make sure you give these stitches some height. Okay, now you're going to work the next long double crochet, so you want to go over to that next stitch and go down 2 rows below. So there's the first one, and here's the second one. You want to go into that second row and complete that next stitch. Okay, so you see how it's at an angle and it's going down. Now you want to go over to the next stitch and go down 3 rows below. So 1, 2, and 3. So now you're going to go down into that 3rd stitch. Okay, and now you're going to go 1 row over, and then you want to go all the way down to that bottom row. Okay, so just stay in line with your stitches, and like I said, that's the most important part of doing this this pattern, is staying in a direct line with your stitches. Okay, so you did your first 4. So now we're going to go back up the opposite direction. So now you want to come over to the next stitch, but you want to work your way up. So now you want to go up from the bottom. There's that next 4th stitch. You want to go up to that 3rd stitch of that next row. So there's number 3. Okay, so go over to the next stitch. There's the 4th, there's the 3rd. You want to go into that 2nd stitch. Go over to the next stitch, and now you just want to go 1 below because you did the 2nd below right there. Now just go 1 below. There's that one. And now just simply go into the next stitch for the regular single crochet. Okay, and that's your flame stitch. And now for the next section, you're just going to repeat that. You're going to do the same thing. Now you're going to start off with going 1 below. So here's your current row stitch. You want to go 1 below. Okay, now you want to, on the next stitch, you want to go 2 below. So that's right here. So here's your regular stitch. There's 1 below. Here's 2 below. Okay, the next stitch, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3 below. Next stitch, there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and then there's 4 below. Okay, now you've done one side of that. Now we're just going to work ourselves back up. So here's the 4 below. There's the 4 below on the next stitch. You want to go in the 3rd below, not the 4th below again. So there's the 3rd. Okay, so now you want to go into the 2nd below on your next stitch, which is going to be right here. I'm sorry, hang on. Second below, sorry, second below is right there. And now one below is right here. And now the next stitch is just on your current row. There you go. And that's the second one. Okay, so now you're just going to repeat that last one, and then we're at the end, you're just going to make sure to do like we did here. You're just gonna, I'll meet you up at the end and we'll do the end together. So just do as we did right here, end with a single crochet on the current row, and I'll meet you up at the end of this one. Okay, so I'm at the end and you see you still have the turn and chain. You want to simply put a single crochet into your turning chain. Okay, and now you have your 3 sections just like I do. Now you want to turn, and now for the next 4 rows you're just going to work single crochet. So chain 1, and you're just going to work 4 rows of single crochet in the current color that you're working with. And that's just going to build up all of those 4 rows that you need. That way, once we change color at the end of the 4th row, then you can start building up your next section of flame stitches. But you have to build up the 4 rows in order to be able to work the long single crochets. And again, you can switch to a different color other than, like I started off with blue. If I wanted to like switch to pink or something, it would make this really, really, really neat, because the more color you can add to something like this, it really becomes a fabulous look. Okay, so now I'm going to turn, do my next row. So just go ahead and do up to row 9. Again, you want a total of 4 single crochet rows. And I will meet you up and make sure you have your next color available. Okay, so now that I've got my 4 rows of single crochet built, I have disconnected my brown. I added light pink to the first stitch, and then I chained 1 and single crocheted into that first stitch. Alright, so this is just going to be a little bit, we're going into a little bit different direction with this row. It's the same technique, just we're going to, instead of starting at the top, we're going to start our stitches in the bottom and work our way up this time. So nothing no different than what we've been doing, just going the opposite direction. Okay? So basically the first stitch that you want to make is going to be going into that next row, but you're going to start into the 4th row down. So go ahead and make that first stitch, your long single crochet, all the way down into the 4th row. So make sure you give it some room that it needs to be able to reach all the way down, and just make your long single crochet there. Okay? And then what you want to do next is, and you can go diagonally if it helps you. You want to go into the next row, but you want to go up. So you want to go into that 3rd stitch. That 3rd stitch, which is right here, so it's going at a diagonal. Okay, so do your 3rd stitch. Okay, and now you want to go into the next row, into the 2nd stitch up. And again, don't make these too tight. You want to go into the next row, and it's simple for this one, just go in 1 row down from where you're currently working. Okay, and then the next stitch over from that stitch, which is your current row, just work that single crochet. Okay, and what you're going to get is between here and here, and then our next section is going to go like this. It's going to kind of look like a big mouth with teeth. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you're going to work down. So our next stitch is going to go on this next row, but one row down. So put that stitch right there underneath your current row, and then just work down. So now the next stitch will go 2 stitches below, 2 rows below, sorry about that. The next stitch will go in the next row, but 3 stitches below, which is right here, 3 rows below. You know what I mean. It's just a mouthful with this stitch. Okay, now the next row over, 4 rows below. And that 4th row is going to be your, on the row where your other flame stitches are setting. Just so you know that you've got that in the right place. Okay, so you see where your mouth is coming into place, just like that. Okay, so basically once you have that 4th one there into place, what you want to do now is you're going to go directly into your next, you've got your 4th one, and you're just going to go right into making your next 3rd one. So you want to go onto that next row and go right into that 3rd stitch from the bottom. Okay, there's the 3rd one. Then you'll go to the 2nd one in that next row. Then you'll go to the next one up, which is 1 row below the top. And then you'll go right onto that single crochet, making that single crochet of the same row you're in. Okay, so you see how we went back up, and now we're going to go back down, which means you're going to have to go 1 row below here, below the top. Now for the next one, you'll go 2 rows below. The next one will be 3 rows below, which is going to go all the way down. And then for the 4th one is going to be right where that stitch is for your last flame row. Okay, and there's like your second mouth is what I'm calling them. It just so reminds me of like a jack-o'-lantern evil mouth or something. Okay, so now you want to, we're going to go back up. So now we're going to start on this next row, but go into the 3rd stitch up. So this would be your 4th. So you want to go into the actual 3rd. Okay. And then the next one you'll go into the 2nd. Then you'll go into 1 row below the top. And then you'll go right into the current row with a single crochet. And now we're going to work the last part, which we're going to go down. So you want to just go 1 row below the top row. Now you'll go 2 rows below. Now the next one you will go 3 rows below. And the last one will go 4 rows below, which is going to be right down here at the top of the last flame. And give it enough room to make. Okay, and then what you'll do at the end is you just want to single crochet into that turning chain. So if you place those stitches right, you'll come out with 1 stitch left right there at the end. Okay, so now basically all you're going to do is just go across with this. You're going to turn, and then you're just going to go across with this color. So 11, 12, 13, and 14. All you're going to simply do is start making those 4 rows of single crochet again, because you need to build back up that foundation so you can make your next sections of flame your next section of flame rows. And and of course you've figured it out by now. You can't build the flames without the rows of single crochet. So it's very crucial. You have to have the 4 rows built up. And I added the multicolors here so you can see the definition of the pattern based on the color. If you do it all in one color, you're not going to get the pattern. 2 colors, you'll get the pattern, but the more colors that you add to this, it's just going to bloom in color. And just because it's a flame pattern doesn't mean you have to do it in red. You know, just play with color with this one. This one is just a magical pattern. And if I were making a full project in this, and it's a closed stitch because it's worked in single crochet, even with the long single crochet, it's still a very closed pattern. So it's going to be a warm pattern, garment, whatever you make out of it. But it's a beautiful pattern. It really is. And like I said, the more color that you add to it, it's just going to be beautiful. So you're just going to finish up your 4 rows of single crochet, and then you're just going to go back and repeat your flames. So you'll just build up the flames like we just did, and then you'll just do 4 more rows of single crochet, and you'll just keep building from there. So I hope you guys enjoyed the flame stitch. And if you actually want to have a written part for this stitch, Miss Margaret Hubert has a written copy in her the complete photo guide to crochet. Her crochet book has a written copy. So if you would like to have a written copy of that, you can get that from her book, which is one of the most outstanding books that I've ever had in my possession. So the link for that book where you can purchase that is below in the description box below this video. So you can get that and get the written copy. I'm sure you can probably get it elsewhere as well if you do a search on the internet. But this is the flame stitch. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Until next video, happy hooking and thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button for me, and see you next time.